going to show you a few Excel formula functions that I find useful in my bookkeeping templates. Excel has hundreds of formulas, but the ones I'm showing you are some of the ones I use the most. Underneath this video is a downloadable version of the Excel workbook that I'm using in this video, so you can practice. Here is a snapshot of basic formulas for adding, subtracting, dividing and multiplying, and percentages. You'll see that the divide symbol doesn't look like the same version taught at school, and the multiply symbol is a little different too. In Excel, when you want to add two cells of data together, you'll use the cell references, not the numbers that you want added together. In this example, I have the number 100 in cell B3. So where column B and row 3 intersect is the cell reference. The example formula shows you how to go 100 plus 50, and over here is the result. You'll know there's a formula when you see the equal symbol in front of a string of numbers, because all formulas in Excel start with an equal symbol. To finalize a formula, press Enter on your keyboard or click on the tick up here next to the formula bar. There are two places in Excel to see the formula behind a result. The first place is in the formula bar at the top here. This enables you to look at the formula and look down at the result. Formulas can be edited and corrected within this bar. The second place to see a formula is within the cell, either by double-clicking the cell or pressing F2 on your keyboard. You can see the formula within the cell, and you can still see it in the formula bar, but this time you can't see the result. You can also edit the formula within this cell. In column E, I have typed example formulas, but because they start with an equal symbol, I have added an apostrophe in front of them, which tells Excel not to perform the calculation but to leave it as text. I'll remove the apostrophe, and you can see the formula has been activated. I'll add the apostrophe back in. In a formula, Excel always displays the reference letters as capitals, but you don't have to type them in as capitals. You can type them in as lowercase letters, and Excel will automatically change them to capitals. Also, when you type a letter, Excel produces a list of formulas starting with that letter. If I want the sum function, which I'll talk about a little bit later, I'll type equals, then S. The list is very long, so I'll add a U, and when I see the sum function, I double click on it, and then I can process the formula and press enter. On a side note, the sum function encloses the formula within brackets. When you use the formula, you don't have to enter the closing bracket because Excel will do this automatically for you. I'll now show you how to add formulas into a spreadsheet. This spreadsheet is a basic cash book for recording income minus expenses. It has a date column, income columns, expense columns, and a bank balance column. I have entered all the data for the month of January, and now I need to calculate the totals for each day and record the effect those have on the bank balance for each day. First, I'll do the income totals in column E. I type equals, then I select C3, and you can see my selected cell has a moving border around it. So this tells me I'm in the middle of an active process or calculation. Then I'll enter a plus symbol because I'm adding two cells together, and then I select cell D3 and press enter to finalize this calculation process. I'll just quickly double click on cell E3 so you can see the formula. C3 is in blue and D3 is in red. If you were calculating a whole bunch of different cells, each one would be a different color. This just helps you track which cells are included in a formula. Now I could enter in the same formula to row 4 like this, but manually entering formulas into each cell is time consuming, so the quicker method is to copy and paste the formulas down the page like this. Right click, copy, select all the cells, paste. Or to autofill the formula down the column, I'll just undo the pasting that I did. And now to autofill, I double click on this tiny box in the bottom right hand corner and all my cells are filled in. Now I'll add up all the expenses. This time I'm showing you a different method to do the calculation because there are quite a few cells involved, all of these, and individually adding lots of cells in a formula like this is not a proficient way to do it. Instead, I'll use the sum function. I'll type equals SU and double click on sum and then select the cells I want included in the formula and enter. Another way is to find the sum function under the home menu in AutoSum. However, sometimes it either includes too many cells or excludes some of the cells because it stops at the first number or set of numbers it sees. So then you just have to drag the selection over by holding down your left mouse button on either corner and dragging over. Once again, I'll autofill the formula down the column. Now I'll enter a formula into the bank balance column starting with row 3. This balance must include the total from the day before plus total income from row 3 minus total expenses also from row 3, which gives me today's balance. The first day of the month will include this opening bank balance, which is from the previous month of December.